What's going on? Kevin Hope here with BallHer Hoops. Episode 3, we're back at it. First two episodes, I want to apologize because some of you might have saw the Providence Day scrimmages. There have been a lot of changes to those games, but hey, we had already recorded. Well, I had already recorded. So there's still some of those games happening. So you're still more than welcome to come out. Still from 8:30 to I think the last game is at 7:20. So still come out, support girls basketball. I'll be there for sure. But getting to our conference predictions. This episode is about conference predictions. I did as many conferences that I could or that I knew about. So we're going to start with the private school conference predictions. CISAA. At 6, we had Charlotte Christian, 5, Covenant Day. Covenant Day didn't have a team last year, but they'll be back this year. 4, Charlotte Latin, which these next two are pretty, I think 4 through 2, you can argue anybody can win it. 4, Charlotte Latin. 3, Country Day, had a really good year last year. 2, Providence Day, I think their history and their coaching, Coach Springer does a great job getting them prepared. But I think number 1 is still Cannon. I think the talent just overweighs everything else. And NCISA a Metrolina, couple teams gone as Northside's not there anymore. So you got 7, Gaston Day, 6, Westminster Christian, 5, South Lake, 4, Hickory Grove. Hickory Grove is always there in the mix. 3, Gaston Christian. I think the big is over there. Happy is getting better. Metrolina Christian. I think they'll finish second this year. But I think Concord Academy still wins it. I think they have the best talent in that conference. National Independent South. This is the conference that 101 Prep is in. I got Quality Education finishing 4th. Haven't heard much about them this year. So maybe they'll surprise me. But I got them 4th. It's only 4 teams. 3, 101 Academy. I think the other 2 teams are just a little bit better right now. Winston-Salem Christian National is 2nd. And then I got Central Point 1st. Central Point's a team out of Florida, a really good team. Lots of talented D1 players on it. Then between them and Winston-Salem Christian, I think it's going to be a good one. And 101 Prep is still going to compete at a high level. Go to public schools. So Queen City 3A, 4A. I got West Meck at 8. I think them and Hopewell could probably switch back and forth. I got Hopewell at 7, Hardin 2, 6. So those 3, I think any one of them could finish 6, 7, or 8. I got West Charlotte 5, and I have Julius Chambers 4th. Getting a chance to see them this fall. I like their game. West Charlotte's going to be a tough team too, but I think it could be a mix-up between the 2. I got Chambers right now. Huff at 3. Huff has a talented squad. Chloe Gallenbeck is one of those kids that I wish she would just do what she does. If she did what she does, I think she'd be a lot more of a highly talented recruit. At 2, I got North Met, and I got Mallet Creek at 1. Now, I do think 1 and 2 will split. I do think they will split. I think both will win home games, but I think Mallet Creek gets them this year again. I think, of course, leadership, veterans, they got a lot of them. I think they're more poised right now. I think North is the team of the future. I think next year they get them, but this year I think Mallet Creek stays at the top. 4A Somac, I got Barry at 7, Valentine Ridge at 6. Coaching again, I think when you have good coaching, it wins you some games you may not supposed to win. 5 Palisades. 4 Olympic. I like Olympic a lot. I think they may have an argument for 3rd. RG Carroll is at 3. With the injury to Autumn Washington, I think I'm a little nervous at having them at 3, honestly, but I think they have enough talent to win games, and Coach Rory does a great job of getting her girls prepared. 2, Myers Park. I think Myers Park is still a really good team. Had an amazing season last year, but I think South Met gets the 1 spot this year. I think that the size advantage is going to be big, and they've added some kids to that team that make them a lot better than they were last year. So it'll be interesting to see that matchup between Myers Park and South Bend. It's always a dogfight between the two of them. So I think it'll be good. Greater Metro 4A. I got West Cabarrus at 7. Losing their best two players, it's hard. I don't know how much talent they brought in, but we'll see. South Iredale, I got them 6. I got Morrisville at 5. I got A.L. Brown at 4. I think between them and Cox Mill, they'll be fighting for that 3rd and 4th seed. Cox Mill at 3, they still have Lauren Farrell. I think that makes a difference, in my opinion. And they have the other big as well. I got Hickory Ridge at 2. Hickory Ridge is still good. They're still going to play that same brand of basketball, but I don't think they're better than Lake Norman this year. Now, just like last year, doesn't mean they won't play them in competitive games. These girls know each other. They've played each other for 4 years, 3 years. This will be the 4th. So they're going to be prepared. Hickory Ridge is going to give them a good fight, but Lake Norman talent, I think, takes over. In the Southwestern 4A, I got East Meck at 7, Garinger at 6. Garinger had a big loss with a lot of their players and their coach. Providence at 5, young team, but I think they have some talent. Independence at 4. Independence is kind of unknown, to be honest. So they could be anywhere from 4 to 7. Who knows? I think Rocky River has the talent to be 3. Jay Bell is an extraordinary talent. If she's on the court and stays in the game, I think that Rocky River has a really good chance to come even second, maybe even first in this conference because they have that type of talent. Charlotte Catholic, I have them at 2. They still are Charlotte Catholic at the end of the day. I know there's no Blanca, there's no Grayson, but they're still Charlotte Catholic. They still have a lot of kids. If you don't know, their Holy Trinity Middle School team is always loaded, and they kind of feed into Charlotte Catholic. So they always have good kids coming in playing basketball. But I got BallHer at 1. I think the big 3, with Hannah Moss, Brooklyn Saunders, and Chloe Ross, I think they can carry them into a conference championship. And the 4 is Southern Carolina. I got Coverson at 5, Sun Valley at 4, 3 Weddington. Weddington should be decent this year. It's not really a great conference this year to me. Porter Ridge at 2. I think Ashanti Taylor is still the best player in the conference, and she can carry them to that 2nd seed. But I think Marvin Ridge and Kate Schindler get to sit down at 1. 3A, 4A Northwestern. I got South Caldwell at 6, Freedom at 5, Ashe County at 4, Hybridton at 3, Alexander Central at 2, and Watauga with Kate Sears at 1. This conference is one of the most competitive conferences. It's always games where you're like, dang, how did they lose to them? Well, this team beat this team. And it's like, who knows what's going to happen, but this is just how I see it right now. But Ashe County may end up beating Watauga one game, or Hybrid and losing to South Caldwell. You never know in this conference. The 3A Western Foothills. I got 8 West Iredale, 7 Statesville. Someone told me Statesville was supposed to be good this year. I have to see it for myself. But till then, I got them at 7. North Lincoln at 6, Ford at 5, St. Stephen's at 4, Hickory at 3. The loss of Zamaya Bynum. Zamaya Bynum is a freshman, but she ended up transferring to Queens Grant. If she were at Hickory this year, I might have bumped them up to 1. But I have them at 3 right now. North Iredale at 2. East Lincoln, even with the loss of Kiki Anderson, I still think they finished first in that conference. Emma Montori, I think she's still the best player in the conference, and she can carry them to a victory. Just remember that team still wins games. They're a winning program. When you're a winning program, you find ways to win games, and I think they can still do that. 3A Big South, I got 8 North Gaston, 7 Kings Mountain, 6 Forest View, 5 South Point, 4 Huss, 3 Ashbrook, 2 Crest, and 1 Stuart Kramer. Oshana Holland is the truth. She's going to be the best player in that conference. She'll definitely, in my opinion, she should win Conference Player of the Year. And she's going to have an argument to be on the All Observer team as well. 3A Big South. Oh, no, I just did 3A Big South. So we're doing 1A, 2A Yadkin Valley. I got South Stanley at 6, Greystone Day at 5, Mount Pleasant at 4, Union Academy 3, which they may move down. They had a couple losses from their team as well. 2 North Stanley, and then 1 Albemarle. Albemarle is a 1A team that this has to be their year. Like realistically, this has to be their year. A lot of 25s on that team, so they should be prepared. They've been the kind of underdogs in a lot. Even this year, I think some people kind of sleep on them. So they're out to prove that they can compete with those top 1A teams. I know it's a lot of new 1A schools that are kind of coming about, but I think Albemarle is still the best in the area out of 1A. 3A South Piedmont, I got Concord 8. The loss of Myasia Nix hurts them tremendously. I got South Rowan at 7. West Rowan at 6. I know West Rowan's dominated that conference for a while, but they have no true returning that play pivotal minutes, so it's going to be hard for them. 5 Lake Norman Charter. I got Northwest Cabarrus at 4. I kind of went back and forth with them in East Rowan at 4 and 3, but I got Northwest Cabarrus at 4. Mackenzie Orsted. Oh, Mackenzie O. She's back. She went to 101 prep and then came back over to Northwest Cabarrus. So that helps them a lot because I probably would have had them further down. But they'll be all right. I think they'll be good. They may get back to the playoffs this year. East Ryan 3. I have Central Barris at 2. I think Central Barris is going to be very much improved this year. J.M. Robinson is still my favorite because they still have Camry Hobbs, and she's a kid that is a Division I player. And out of this conference, I think she's the best player. And I think, at this high school, especially at that type of level, if you have the best player, you tend to win the most games. So unless somebody can figure out a way to beat them and take her away, then I still have them as number 1. 1A Metro 8 conference, and this is just what I was told. I saw the conference, and I was told that they added 1 school, so I'm just going off of that. 6 Carolina International, 5 Valor Prep, 4 Sugar Creek Charter. Shout out to Coach Black over there. 3 Piedmont Community Charter. Piedmont was first last year, but with these 2 new additions and the players that they added, I think they kind of take over. 2 Queens Grant. Zamaya Bynum, I mentioned her before. Then they added KC Smith from Charlotte Country Day, and then also Misa Garris that was at Garinger last year, transferred to Sun Valley. Now she's at Queens Grant. She's going to, those 3 players alone will carry them to a lot of victories. But the new number 1 for me will be Jackson Day in that conference. I think depth is what the difference will be because they have a lot of kids that can play. And they have a winning ways. Coach Ryan does a great job of putting together teams that want to win. Now, I don't think they are ready to win 1A state championship this year. I just don't feel it. If it happens, it would be coach of the year type of attitude because Cherokee's still in the 1A. Bishop McGuinness, Albemarle, and there's a bunch of other teams, but I think they have to fight through that first to win that. But that's all I got for conferences. Next will be our Fire 25. Stay tuned Friday for the Fire 25, and that's it.